Happy Veterans Day, and we are back with Boo and Tony in the afternoon. God, we need to put some X's on the floor or something so I know where I'm standing. Yes, we were wearing matching hoodies. I'm all black in honor of Veterans Day.
I'm all white.
This dude's rocking the pink.
I have a white soul.
Pink.
This is tan, cream.
Tan. He's rocking the cream. My name is Boo Maddox, the team lead for the #1 team in the world at the Perry Group here in Utah County. Excited to be here today. Mr. Tony Acosta here.
That's right. If you're new here, my name is Tony Acosta. I've been in the industry for over 13 years, principal broker. And this show, we talk about all things real estate, crazy stuff that people post on this guy's favorite app of all time, on Threads. But today you went against the grain a little bit. I'm excited about today.
I saw a video. I was inspired. I think it was Tom Toole that posted the video.
Shout out Tom Toole.
Tom Toole's great. So I wanted to go into Google, type what do real estate agents, and let it autocorrect. And we're going to let you pick one. And then we're going to go from there. So let's roll through it. Tingy. What are real estate agents blank?
See. What are real estate agents called? That's a bad question. What are real estate agents' responsibilities, duties? What are their commissions? What are their fees? What are their hours like? What are their working conditions? Ooh, there's a lot of good ones in here.
There's some good ones. I want to take the second to last one. What are real estate agents' hours like? And to that, Mr. Tony Acosta says.
So here's the thing, and this isn't just real estate. I feel like this is entrepreneurship in general.
In general.
So many people get into entrepreneurship because they want time freedom. They want to be their own boss. They want to not have to wake up early. They want to not have to do any of the things that they would do in a traditional job. I don't want to have to clock in.
Nope.
I don't want to have to ask permission to go on vacation.
Hell no.
I don't want to do any of that stuff. Now, all that is great, but what I've actually found is that in order to run a business successfully, especially at the beginning, it takes way more effort than a 9-to-5. I've often said, if you're going to do this right, when you start your business, you trade your 9-to-5 for a 7-to-9. It's just the way it goes. One of my favorite analogies for this is the rocket ship analogy, right? So if you want to get a rocket ship or an airplane or any sort of aircraft off the ground, the amount of force and fuel and momentum that it takes to get it off the ground is so much higher than somebody that is floating at 30,000 feet. So I think what often happens is, and you've alluded to this in the past, we see the top producers and we see their routines and we see the way that they live their life. And we think we want to do the exact same thing, even though we're just getting started. That is a massive myth, and it's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories to tell is in my very first year at Edge Homes. I was trying to figure out what my competitive edge was going to be, and I realized I could work days that other people were not willing to work. So what did I do? I got the all clear from my boss, Drew, who's still my boss, and he said, hey, we're closed down on Memorial Day. I said, okay, bet. I went and put a sign up on every single model home door, directing them to one subdivision where I was the one that was sitting. Okay. My theory was, hey, if everybody is out of work today, they don't have anything going on, when are they going to be shopping for houses?
Of course, that makes sense.
It's today.
Right, of course.
So when that happened, the model was slammed. I am talking buzzing, hopping. I wrote 4 contracts that day.
That is wild.
I wrote 4 contracts that day, and ever since then, Edge has been open every single Memorial Day, every single Labor Day, every single one of those. Like not Christmas, not Thanksgiving, not New Year's.
The B-tier holidays.
Yeah, the bank holidays. I think is what we call them. Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day, right? These days where people are out of work but they have nothing to do.
Yes.
There's no celebrations. There's nothing taking place. Those days were my bread and butter. More than a Saturday, more than a Friday evening, those days were my bread and butter. So early on, especially, if you were trying to figure out what your competitive edge is, you got to understand, I'm going to be working for the most part when other people are not going to be working. Yes. Whether that's later in the day, whether that's on some of those holidays, whether that's on Black Friday, because that's when people like to shop, you got to be willing to work when other people are not willing to work. If you're not willing to do that, probably get out of the industry now and you'll save yourself a ton of headache. But the caveat to that, the other side of it is, guess what? The movie theater on a Wednesday afternoon, a Wednesday morning, guess what? Empty.
Empty.
So I have had a lot of fun working on Saturdays and going on Wednesday afternoon to go spend time with my kids and spend time with my wife. Having said that, it has taken a long learning curve for me since I've started this new job, and I'm not showing properties on Saturday anymore. Dude, it has taken me 9 months to learn what to do with my Saturdays because that was so ingrained in my DNA that I didn't know what to do. I would just come to the office on a Saturday and just sit around like,
what do I do? There's nobody here.
But I felt like I had to be doing something because that was so ingrained in my DNA from when I was coming up. So if you were unwilling to do that, that's also too, if I could give ourselves a shameless plug, this is where our office hours come in.
Yeah.
This is where I think the office hours and the structure that we are trying to ingrain in our agents early on is so important. Take your morning, have your morning be what you want it to be, spend it with the people that you care about. Come in at 10 o'clock, be here from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, spend time on your business, and then your showings, your appointments are going to take place later in the evening and then be done for the day. So I think those hours are really strategic if you let them be, but you got to be working when other people are not.
I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. Next up, all right, now I got to
Got
get
another
close to
one.
the screen
Why
again.
are real estate agents
Important,
blank?
needed, paid so much, hot.
I saw that one.
That's
thought
not
of you.
bad. So expensive, hated, quitting, so rich. Why are real estate agents important to society?
Which one you want to
there's
take?
a lot
I picked
there.
the last one.
I'm gonna go with why are real estate agents needed? I think that there is a massive misconception by the public that is a little bit based on just people thinking that they can do all things, but also of agents not being good communicators. That anybody can just do this, that you can just transact real estate with no help. There's no difficulty to it. It's super simple.
Yeah.
It's like buying something on Amazon. You go, you pick the house, you buy it. And for 95% of people in the world, it's just not that simple. If you're somebody who has transacted real estate, you know it, you understand it, you bought investment properties before, okay, maybe you are one of the select few that could do it themselves. But even then, on one occasion, I went to a conference and somebody gave this analogy which always stuck with me. You look at professional athletes, they have agents.
Yes.
LeBron James has an agent. Cristiano Ronaldo has an agent. Aaron Judge has an agent. Why? Is it because they're too stupid to do the contracts themselves?
No.
Is it because they don't understand how the logistics of what they want to make and how it works? Why is it? Why is it that a LeBron James, a professional athlete, has an agent even if they are who they are? What do you say?
Yeah, see, I think that this comes down to we have an incredibly low barrier to entry in this industry. My argument would be, hey, if we were to make this a 4-year college degree, something like that, and then the job description stayed the exact same, this question would not be asked of us by the general public.
Yes.
I think that the reason that this question is getting asked more than anything is because our barrier to entry is 120 hours of online school, a test. How many times do you have to take the test to pass?
Twice.
Once, prodigy.
There we go.
But you have such a low barrier to entry that people are thinking, hey, any dumbass can do this. And to an extent, you're right. If you're a dumbass that thinks all you're doing is opening up a door and working on some paperwork, then yeah, that's the extent of it. I think you said it right. Agents suck at communicating. We suck at communicating the hard parts of this job. Right. We want to make this feel like just like the smoothest, easiest transaction that has ever transacted. And so because of that, that's the general sentiment that we give off to the consumer. Have I ever had deals that go like that and all of a sudden I get a paycheck and I'm like, dang, that was pretty easy? Yeah. Is that the anomaly? Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. So the professional athletes, they have agents because they have better things to do. They have better things to do. They bring in somebody who is an expert, who dedicates all their time on those kinds of contracts, those kinds of negotiations. They're the ones making the calls. They're the ones doing the due diligence. Could LeBron James do it? Maybe, but I think he has better things to do, and I think you do as well, which is why you need a competent professional real estate agent to take that stress off of your back and get you a good deal.
And I think Tingy has better things to do, like roll the next one. See?
There we go.
Good
Look at
transition.
that. Great transition.
Ooh.
What are the biggest real estate myths out there, Mr. Boom Maddox?
Number one, I would say that this is easy.
There we go.
Number
Just
two,
talk about
I would
that.
say that every real estate agent is worth the same amount. I think that this one right now is probably the most hotly debated
Yes.
within our industry because now the commission conversation is being brought to the forefront. It
used to be a secret.
Conversation. It used to be a secret, or it was lied
free.
about, and it was said, "Hey, my services to you as a consumer are free." Has
Are
that
free.
ever been true?
Never been
Hell
true.
no. Has that always been propagated? Yes, absolutely. So here's the question: what is the biggest myth? I think it's that, you know what, everybody can do this job, and everybody is worth the same 3%.
I agree. If I had to throw another one in there, I would say for most people that you can buy real estate with no money, no credit, no risk, no nothing. A lot of people fall victim to that. Are there 1% of the population that maybe can pull off a deal like that? Maybe, but for most people, it's called real estate investing. You have to invest. The definition of invest is you take one asset and you put it over here so that it grows over here. Most people don't want to do this. They don't want to take the transfer and they don't want to invest. So I know it sounds sexy. You can buy properties, cash flow, no money, no credit, no risk. Just not real, my guy.
Can I just say too, one of my biggest pet peeves that I see from agents posting is that, did you know it's a common myth that you don't have to put 20% down? You can't have both of those things be true. You can't have a no money down option and that the common myth is 20% down. Agents, please stop posting that.
Please stop
Thank you.
Take advantage of real estate. There are opportunities in every market. So right now, doom and gloom, everything is awful. You're either, if you're a Trump supporter, you're on cloud nine. If you're not, the world is coming to an end. This sucks. Where is the opportunity, Boom Maddox, today in real estate for people watching? Where is the opportunity?
I think this becomes very market specific. Here in Utah, I think right now you are seeing a massive difference between rent payments versus mortgage payments for the exact same product. We're talking anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month versus your monthly payment here on a mortgage versus your rent payment over here. So at some point that is going to have to close. So it can close one of two ways. Number one, either mortgages are going to decrease, whether that's interest rates going down or that's purchase prices going down, or rents are going to have to come up. Right. I personally am of the opinion that rents are going to come up before you see payments drop anywhere significantly. Unless Donald Trump is able to put pressure on the Fed like he did in 2018, 2019, 2020 to drop interest rates down to the low 3s, high 2s. Having said that though, I think that we are more likely in this marketplace to see rents go up over the next 12 to 18 months.
I agree. The other big opportunity that I'm seeing here is in new construction.
Yeah.
You know, I just had a conversation where I am listing a condo that was built 3 years ago, and they're still building condos there. So when we take a look at the new ones versus my old one, the numbers just don't pencil. Why? Because of these builder incentives. So remember, back in the day, back in pandemic, buyers were throwing money at sellers to get these contracts. $40,000 above, $50,000 above. They
waiving
were throwing
contingencies,
money.
waiving appraisals,
Yes.
waiving inspections.
I don't have to see the house. I don't have to. It was wild. They were throwing money at sellers in order to secure a contract. What I'm seeing now is a lot of builders throwing money at buyers to be able to move their inventory. So if you can secure, I mean, I've seen a bunch of different things, but 4.99 rates with 3% concessions, that can be $10,000, $15,000, $18,000 to further buy down the rate. That is a massive, massive opportunity. I'd be willing to bet that if you take two properties that are the exact same price, one, you buy it old, it's traditional financing, and one, you use the builder incentives, I'm willing to bet that the new home is actually cheaper month to month than the old home.
I've been pitching this for the last 9 months.
Yep.
This is a weird opportunity where new construction is cheaper than existing from a monthly payment perspective.
Yes.
And it's because the amount of concessions that builders are throwing out. Now, why is this the case? You got to understand that builders are going to have an internal number called a hurdle rate. What is a hurdle rate? It is the amount of units that they have to sell in a month. So if you get a one-off listing in a different area, which you're getting a bunch of those right now, you are pricing it to sell that house one time. A builder that's trying to sell one of those condos is releasing one of those 10 plexes every single month in order to hit their numbers. So what do they have to do? They have to price to sell 10 of them in that neighborhood, not just one of them. So what does that mean? That means that a supply and demand is in effect here, and they have to be cheaper than what the existing homes are by a large margin, because they're not just selling one against one, they're selling 10 against one. So if you're in a market that has new construction, like in Utah County, where 44% of our available inventory today is new construction, take advantage, go to a builder, buy new, and you will be in a better spot than if you go and buy something that's an existing home.
There you go. That's it. That was solid, by the way.
See y'all tomorrow.
See you guys.